let's see here. I'm gonna do a quick recap video today. Let's see. Alright. Need some of that today. I need to calm down a bit here. So, today kind of sucked. I blew up my account. My fault in its entirety. And, of course, obviously, who else's fault would it be? But, nonetheless, lessons to be learned. Got overly emotional, got upset, and I started off the day really good. Really had a good, strong man. I was hoping I was going to get picked up on Isaiah here, but I didn't get picked up, and now it's just going to go. Darn it. Not my day. Anyway, I had an order sitting there at 137. Here we're at 147. That would have been a nice start. Sorry. Alright, well, I'm not going to lose my focus again. So, here we go. What happened? So, the bell rings. Isaiah, I mean, nothing happened. Everything was just garbage off the bell. Shorts definitely won the morning session. So, the bell rings. It looked like it was holding on. So I hopped in. I tried to get out as soon as it pulled back and fell. Anyway, so I ended up adding, and then I meant to, then I closed, and then it was supporting, so I was going to go in again, and then it baselined. Looked like we were building support here. A whole bunch of bids came on the, a whole bunch of offers came on there. So I thought we were going to go, start to pull up, and then of course it dove. So just messing around here with this one with Isaiah, just could not get a read on it at all. Ended up, I mean, that was pretty much break even. Isaiah wasn't too bad. So that was what was going on there. So yeah, Isaiah was pretty much break even. Where the day really fell apart was TIK. So TIK, which the worst part was a 5-cent tick. I never trade these things. I hate these things. But nothing was moving, so I decided to go ahead and force a trade. And well, we all know how that goes. So I threw 3,000 shares at it right here. So it came up, pulled back, and I wanted to try and add through here, and it ended up just not even thinking about the 5-cent tick. Obviously, I'm not going to get the fill I'm looking for. So I filled a little high, and then ended up, I was up nice, right at that 5 1/4 there. I went in at 493-ish, at 5 1/4. By the time I had, on my unrealized, it was probably up somewhere, in the $400 or $500 range. By the time I pulled it, I ended up pretty much being, I think I was like down, $100, whatever it was. It was a small loss, but after seeing the unrealized higher, I was kind of, not trading the chart. Trading my unrealized, which is another thing I very rarely do. I like to kind of just trade the arrows on the chart. That's kind of why I keep my green arrows on the chart, so I trade the chart. I don't trade the unrealized, but considering it was a 5-cent tick, I was kind of, just trading off the unrealized, which I shouldn't do. But nonetheless, so at this point here, I wanted to, once it broke VWAP, it broke VWAP. I figured it was going to bounce to 15, come back in. Again, I got filled super late on it, and then hopped right out for a win. So at that point, I was now up on the trade. Should have walked away. I was up on the day. I had about $200, locked in, loaded, done. I said, you know what? It's been a rough morning. Let's just wrap it up. At the same time, I had just had a nice win on AMRS as well, as you see right here. So, AMRS ran up, quick pullback, and then a pop up. Jumped the gun on that because this would have been the real entry. As you can see, just really, really choppy trading. But anyhow, at that point then, so I had left some after this trade here, and then of course it ran up. I'm like, oh, of course, like always, you leave some on the table. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, look at that. It looks like, I got all this volume coming in. Maybe we're going to break for a new high a day. So I hop in. I didn't take any profits off. I figured looking at the daily, we were clear to go. So anyhow, That being said, it pulled back again, and then I said, all right, well, now obviously I'm down. You know, this is pretty strong support. Let's see if we can get a bounce off of that. Once it broke VWAP, I wanted to get out, but at that point, I was down over like $400, $500, and if I would have closed that position, it would have triggered my max loss and pulled me out. And the problem with that is I was also in AMRS at the time, and I didn't want it to pull me out of everything. So, needless to say, I just started letting things run against me, saying, all right, well, I've got plenty of buying power, so let's see when I can find a nice level of support and get out of here. Well, at AMRS, when I meant to go heavy here on this level right here, I closed up, stopped my max loss, everything was out, and I was down, at the end of the day, I'm down about 9 grand. So, just really tough, lots of just, I mean, obviously, you know, just stupid mistakes. Yeah, I'm looking at it, and there's so many things I could have done better, but considering, you know, I was scared of triggering the max loss. Like normally I'd start pulling pieces off of the position, you know, lock in a little bit of loss, lock in all the loss, wait, you know, try and attack it at a better level. But after having such a good run, I didn't want to take the loss, you know. So nonetheless, I just kept, you know, letting it run against me and then adding more to it without pulling some off and pulling my position down. So before I knew it, in here I was holding something like 12,000 shares and somewhere around 8,000 here. So just way more position than I normally hold. You know, normally I'm holding 1,000, you know, I start with, you know, my hotkeys are 600 and 900 shares, and you know, I'll start using blocks like that. So normally a position for me is around 2,000-3,000 shares. So just way more position than I knew how to handle, and at that point the emotions set in and just some poor trading decisions and lots of big mistakes. So definitely a setback. Really puts me red on the month now after a phenomenal month. I mean, this is only my third red day. Out of those 2 red days, one was a $50 loss. The other one was heavy. It was about 2 grand, but the rest of them have all been nice, solid green days. So, you know, a couple $100 here and there, $800-900 days average. So, you know, it was going good. Things are going good. But yeah, so anyway, wiped it all out and got to start fresh, you know. So I ran to the bank, threw some money in there, and you know, now I'll have to build a 5 grand account and go from there. So, I mean, all in all, things are going much better than they were 2 months ago. You know, my ratios are through the roof. I'm super happy with my, you know, my accuracy. Look at this IZEA, man. This thing's gonna pop VWAP. I bet. If we just get some volume. Yeah, so I had that order sitting, what is it, 137? I really wanted to fill down there, but anyway. Excuse me. Nonetheless, things are really getting better. This was obviously a major mistake on my part, and a definite lesson in, I mean, a lot. Risk management, for sure. Just taking the loss when it's there. You know, when it's obvious that it's not working, just get the hell out, you know. I mean, normally I would too. Normally I had no problem with that, but I ended up just, you know, getting really shaken up, getting upset that I kept feeling like I was, you know, one thing that's been driving me crazy lately is I feel like every day I'm leaving all this meat on the table, right? I'm leaving, you know, every day. And I'm walking away green every day, every single day, and I'm not happy with it. I'm like, man, you know, you left $1.50 on that move, you know, $2 or whatever. Like, I'm just grabbing little pieces of the move. And so finally here, you know, now I said, you know, with TIK, which first of all, as a stock, I don't trade. I don't trade 5-cent ticks. I didn't have any market research done on it. And then, to top it all off, I then do some research, right? And I figure out, well, here's what's going on with TIK. Lo and behold, the news on it is like some BS that they, let's see here, an expected multi-million-dollar deal from the German government. Ironically enough, right? What do we got here? So, August 14th. just a couple days ago, they get a letter from the New York Stock Exchange regarding minimum equity requirements. So complete crap, and then they do this like half-ass PR release, and I guarantee you they're selling into this, diluting this here. So yeah, I didn't do my homework, didn't do my research on it, never would have traded that had I, had it been something that was gapping in the morning and I would have looked into it, wouldn't have touched it. But since I didn't research it, I was upset that everything else I had planned didn't work out, and I was looking to force some trades. I paid the price for that. So, this is probably going to take me another month to dig out this hole. Well, I'll probably be, could be another month to dig out of this hole. So that was a mistake. That sets me back another month or so. But, I can't even look at it like that. It is what it is. I took a $2,000 hit 2 weeks ago. I thought that was gonna, thought that was the end of it, and came back from that pretty quick. So, this is trading, right? You live, you learn, and the closer you get, the more painful the lessons are. So, this was a very, very painful lesson, and I still feel that I'm getting closer. The most ironic part about it this morning is I'm making my toast at the toaster, and for some reason I have this incredible urge to like, don't trade today. I just had this weird feeling, but I'm not, I didn't want to go off of that. So, but I was like, oh, don't trade today. But so I ended up trading, and it didn't work out. So, all right, well, that's that. Now I gotta wait for some funds to clear. I mean, I still have, some money in the account, but not for the way I like to trade. So anyway, maybe I should size down a bit. I'll probably run to the simulator for a day or two just to get my emotions in check. But like I said, I mean, ultimately, I was sitting somewhere around 80% accuracy on the month, but if not higher. I hadn't recorded the last few days, which have been all killer. So just really got to watch out for those, the ones that get me. At a certain point with AMRS, I mean, I was down $200 and I said, all right, get the heck out of this thing. But the same idea with that is, at that point, I had locked in so much loss that if I just took that loss, that would have triggered me, pulled me out of everything. So just thinking so small and not wanting to get pulled out of my positions that I thought I could work with, ended up costing me everything. So, what's going on there? Anyway, so that's that. Kind of frustrating day, but all in all, my fault. And I will definitely work to fix what I did. So, that's that. I'll stick to my plans, stick to, and that was the other thing, and one other thing, right, is I finally said, all right, let's start putting some size on it. Your ratios are way up, everything's going really good. Let's start throwing some size at it and seeing how it goes. So the other thing, I didn't size into any of my setups that I know, and I size into stuff I don't trade, which is just stupid in itself. Had I sized into, what was that ZN trade I took? I took a trade on ZN, which got pulled out. ZN, here it is. So, I went small size on this, and ended up having to get out of that because of everything else going on. So, if I would have sized into this trade, it would have been just fine. Or what was the other one that I did good? Was that CNET trade, right? CNET? Yeah, CNET. Nailed the top, nailed the bottom on that. Got out here. I left a little. I mean, I had maybe 100 shares left over to run. But again, closed everything up when all that was going down. But this was a very good win, But it was only, 2,000 shares. So, again, if I sized into the things I know, I'd probably be a lot better off. But, I decided to size into some random stuff that I don't trade. I don't know. So, got a lot of journaling to do tonight. I know that for sure. But that being said, hope everybody else is having a good day. Hope everybody's trading well. It is Friday. So, definitely want to get out early and enjoy the weekend. So, everybody, happy trading, and we'll be back Monday morning.